friends, welcome to my garden. I'm Lori. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're a regular subscriber, thanks for coming back and visiting with me. So today I'm up at the entrance to the main garden. My shade garden is in front of me, but back here is the entrance that goes to our home as well as to the main garden. And I have these containers that I added this year. I've had containers here before, but I found these gorgeous Italian stone containers at a local store, and they were just a great deal. So this summer I had these arborvitaes that I put in them, and they need to come out. I knew they would only make it one full season, and I have a spot in the garden I'm going to add them. Now, I had pink cashmere verbena because I had grown it last year and it just was stunning. However, as you can see right now, this space gets a little shade. It's kind of full sun, full shade. I've got the arbor, trees, this side especially, and I've already had to take out all the plants. It was kind of the tale of two containers. This one just did not thrive. Now, I also need to check our drip. I'm worried that it might be clogged because I'm not getting, I don't think it was getting wet enough. Now this side, it's gone a little crazy. So this is the pinkerific dahlia, which I've talked about a lot. It is so stunning and absolutely one of my favorites. But it is mid-September and I feel like I need to go ahead and get these changed out. I also found some gorgeous fall plants. Now, what I want to do today first is I'm going to take out the dahlias and I'm going to put them in a container with some dirt. I'm going to let them just die back naturally. If they keep blooming, that's fine. And I'm hoping to save the tubers. So that's what I want to do today with these. I really hate to take them out. They are so stunning. I'll show them to you close up. But then I need to get the arbs out, and I've got a spot again. We're going to plant those later this weekend, and then we're going to refresh it. I have just been buying some beautiful fall things. I'm going to do fall plants in here, but then we're going to head down to where the pink tiara containers are, and we're going to change those out. But I'm going to do something very different. I'm going to put something evergreen and some other items that will come back next year. So we're going to actually tackle these two containers and then the two behind me and try to knock out all four today. So I can't wait to work through these and show you how they come together. So let me turn the camera around. I'm going to show you this stash, and then we're going to work on saving these gorgeous dahlias. Now it is a little windy today, so I hope that you'll be able to hear me okay, but it's a gorgeous day. I'll just give you a little peek. It's just blue skies, 77 degrees. I mean, it's just the most perfect gardening day. So this is my little stash that I've been collecting some plants, and today we're going to work with almost all of these, believe it or not. So over here, they have had little bitty mums. I usually never buy mums for containers, but they've had these small ones. They were like $5 for $10, and I got the ones that haven't bloomed yet. These are going to be a pretty pink. I've got some ferns. I've got sedum that can go back out in the garden. They had some sweet William. So I just think it's going to be beautiful. And I expect this container to last until first frost, and then I'll be able to add something for the holidays. I do like to do these front containers with holiday arrangements. Now, the containers down, you can see them right here. The tiara pink containers, I'll tell you more about those when we get down there, but those contain the plant baskets are in an iron container that is stunning. So we're going to fill it with a liner today, and then I actually am going to put in these evergreen little tater tot plants, some grasses, some vine, just a bunch of fun things. So that one's going to be really different, and I'm excited. I also need to try to fit in the last of the coleus that I have. So they've gotten pretty big, and I may just even put them in a pretty container and tuck them around the garden. We'll see. So I've been keeping these plants watered. It is time to get them in the ground. Now I've got this container of dirt, I've got 2 grow bags of dirt, and I also have my trug. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to save these dahlias. It just breaks my heart, but I know I need to go ahead and do this. They're so beautiful. But you know, sometimes it's just time, and they're gorgeous. So let me just get started taking these out. I'm hopefully going to be able to pull out the arborvitaes by myself. I tested this one. I think if I use my Hori Hori, I can get it out. And then we'll top off with some dirt and we'll get to planting. Okay, so now that I got everything cut back, I'm going to go in with the Hori Hori, and I'm going to first try to get out the verbena. I am sure that all of this has grown together. Okay, there we go. So there's verbena. All right, so these are the proven winners, and I don't know, because I don't know proven winners' secrets, if these are bred not to make tubers, but this guy has a little one. I'm not even sure that's worth saving, so I'm going to let that one go. So this bunch has a couple tubers. They are very small. There's a couple here. They would continue forming. So I'm going to set this one aside. I may put it in a grow bag. And so really, I just had 3 plants and 1 superbena in here. So this one's got roots. It's got like 1 tuber forming. So I think what I will do is pot these up. I'm going to cut them back some more, and we'll just see in October if we get bigger tubers and if I decide I want to save them. There's definitely lots of good roots, and again, just that one tuber. So this is a trial. I have no idea if these will make it since I've disturbed them, but I think giving them a good haircut, there is still, I've kind of cut them right above a leaf node. So what I did, they should really take off growing. I planted them, I cut them off right at where there's a leaf coming out. There's a leaf coming out here. There's leaves coming out right here. So I think they'll continue to grow in this container. I'll keep them watered. And again, we've got these baby tubers. I would love to be able to not to have to buy these again next year. I don't know that they were bred that way, but I also may get some more fall blooms. So we got that all tucked in. Not too bad. Nope. Okay, no complaints with that job. I actually could probably keep these in here longer, but we're going to go ahead and change it out and get these in the landscape where they can just do amazing. So I'm going to put them in a grow bag. I'll get the other one out, and then we'll get to planting. Okay, so let's talk about this gorgeous plant combination. I'm in love with this. So again, I've got the Autumn Joy sedum, and that's going to be kind of in the back. And this plant will last until maybe even after a light frost. So again, this is just basic. This one's actually called Autumn Fire sedum. So I haven't had this one before. Autumn Fire, it is going to get really, really hot pink. So kind of that fiery red on the blooms. And what's great about sedum, you probably already know this, but you can cut it, take the bottom leaves off and stick it in the ground and it will root. Now these are going to stay until probably the first frost. I'll cut them back and then I'll pop them in the garden. But I thought they would just be beautiful up here. They're so hardy, you just can't go wrong. Now this fern is a autumn fern, and it of course needs shade. It is a mounding perennial, and it's going to turn also beautiful fall color. Now I decided to go with this because this side gets shade, and I just thought it would be really pretty. Now I could also leave these plants in here and they would come back next year, and I may decide to do that. You never know. We'll just see what happens this fall. Now I've got a Sweet William that I will continue to deadhead, and it's got new blooms. It's just kind of that pop of color. And then I got some pink. These are called Purple Mix Mums. And these are just gonna be kind of that same fuchsia, fiery kind of spring pink kind of color, a little bit more magenta. And they've just started budding up. So I'm gonna have good blooms on these probably for a month or so, and if you deadhead, I might get some more blooms. But for the price, I thought it would be a nice little pop in here. Even without those, it's just a beautiful container, and I think will do great for autumn. And everything except the Sweet William will, well, I can plant the mums, and I can save seed from the Sweet William. So I can't save the plant. I don't have a greenhouse, but I could save the seed. So I could let some of the seed heads dry, collect the seeds. Sweet William is so easy to grow. So I think pretty wise decision for a container that I'm going to be able to enjoy for the next couple months. The wind is picking up. So I'm going to get to planting. I'll put on some music and then I'll show you at the end. And then we're going to head down and do the second set of containers. Okay, you guys, here's planter number 1. Now she needs to be washed off, but I love it. And it feels good to have something fresh. I know it's bright sun right now. Let me come around to this side. There we go. So pretty. I think once these little mums start to bloom, they get some water, the sedum opens up, it is going to be, I think it'll be really sweet. And it just feels good to have it cleaned up, to have those arbs out so that I can get them planted. All right, we're going to do number 2. We'll get it all washed up and I'll show you the final outcome. And then we're going to head down and do these last 2. Okay, so that came together pretty easy. I was worried about getting the arborvitaes out, but they were not rooted in. They'd only been in since spring. They were in a larger container. I moved them into these, so they really hadn't rooted in. You can see we're getting cloud cover, but these containers also get some shade and some protection. I'm gonna move the camera so you can see them because I know the light is right in your face today. So let's take a close-up look, and then we're gonna head down and see if we can get these other containers done today. All right, from a shaded perspective, you can see, I cannot wait to see all the autumn color. I did give these a little bit of a deadheading just so they will continue to bloom. There's tons of new buds. So I will post an image in YouTube when these get in full fall color, and I'm sure you'll see them in a fall tour. But I think it was a fun combination. I haven't done this before, and a good use of plants that I can repot. All right, so these containers, every year I usually get a proven winners basket and I just dump it in here. It's one of those easy garden kind of tricks, and they do amazing as long as you fertilize them almost every week. So this is the Tiara Pink. It's been stunning. I've trimmed her twice. She is super aggressive. I would highly recommend her, but probably in a landscape setting. She's done okay in the containers, but I think she just wants to go. She wants to go fast, and the containers kind of hold her back a little. So what I want to do today is I'm hoping I can just lift her out. I'm going to set her on my porch where she can kind of hang over the edge. I'm going to let her hang out until she just dies back. I'm not going to fertilize anymore. It's mid-September. I've been fertilizing plants since late April, 1st of May. And then we're going to put in a liner and plant an evergreen and some other plants that I can eventually put back in the garden. I think it'll just be a nice complement to the space and just something nice and simple. So let me first see if I can get her out of here. All right. Well, there she is on the ground. Look at that. Oh my gosh. She's huge. And look at this container that she's been living in. One tiny pot. Pretty amazing annual, isn't it? One pot. So I'm going to go put her on the other patio. I'm just going to leave her there for a few more weeks, and then we're going to work on this. Okay, so these little iron containers, this one's getting a little too rusty. I'll probably have to give it a coat of paint in the spring. I got these at a vintage kind of antique store, and I've had them here ever since the beginning of the garden. So they've just kind of become a permanent structure, and I just love the height and the pop of color. So I got these liners actually on clearance, and I'm excited because it's going to fit perfect. All right, now I just need to get my soil. We'll get it filled up, and then we'll see if we can get these plants all planted up. Okay, so I got dirt in the container. I got the liners in. I love this fresh look with the liner. And I've got 3 plants that I'm going to put in this container, and I'm so excited. You know, I picked them out. I wasn't sure of the size, and I think they're going to work great. So in the front, I'm going to do, this is called a myrtle vine. It's just kind of a trailing vine. It can be a ground cover, but I think it's pretty aggressive. So I'm just going to use it in a container. There's a bumblebee that likes it. It's supposed to be safe to -30. We don't get to -30, so I think we're going to be good. Then I have just an average regular sedge grass. I love these. This can go out in the garden. The myrtle could as well, but I think I'll keep it for containers. And then what I'm really excited about is this Anna's magic ball. This is an arborvitae. It's supposed to be evergreen, and it's kind of that chartreuse color. It just kind of dances, and it's supposed to stay 10 to 15 inches tall and wide. It needs partial sun to sun, and since the petunias did fine here, I think it gets just enough light. So let me show you the tag up close. It is called Anna's Magic Ball. And you can see kind of those dimensions inside in case you want to take a screenshot. All right, so I am really excited about this. You know, I had all that bright color up here, but to me, this is just clean, simple, really speaks to the fall garden, the winter garden. For the holidays, I may just put some red twig dogwood sticks in here or some birch trees, branches, just to give it a holiday flair. But I think this is gonna take us all the way to next spring, and then I can take it out and put in my summer container. So let's get to planting. This one should be really easy. Okay, everybody, well, we got these 2 containers done. I am in love with it. I just love the simplicity, the cleanness. It's just so refreshing, actually. And I think once the leaves are gone, it's gonna be beautiful through the winter. Now, I'm not sure how long the sedge grass will look pretty, probably till we get like a hard freeze, but the arborvitae will stay green and beautiful. And if this dies back a little bit, it will pop back out in the spring. So I just think it's great. I love that I have both containers done. They are going to be beautiful for fall all the way through the holidays. I can add some little whimsy, maybe some holiday balls, some sticks to them. But I like that they're clean, simple, and those petunias served me well. They served me from the end of April. I think I'll go back and check the date all the way until the middle of September. And they probably would have gone a couple more weeks. But these are going to be easy. They're on drip, no fertilizer during the winter, and I love them. Let's look at them up close, and I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. There is lots happening around here. So I hope you're doing great. Leave me a comment of what you think of the 2 containers, and if you're doing any container swapping this time of year. Let's look at them up close. All right, there's the Anna's Ball arborvitae. It'll be so fun to put this combination out in the spring. And this myrtle vine, if it does what it says and it makes it through our winter, I think it'll be beautiful to even stay in this container. So now that I have these liners, I'm considering doing my own containers here next year. If I feel like I have the time. I think I will, because I'm not going to have too many other projects. So we may just keep that in there. And even the grass would be beautiful.